Hi, everybody, and welcome to the next edition of Microsoft Monday. Today, I have my amazing coworker, Kyle Nehs, here to talk to us about the May updates to the Teams app. So, Kyle, why don't you take it away?
Thanks, Mark, and thanks for the intro as always. For those that don't know me, my name is Kyle Nehs, Microsoft Teams BDM here at Lenovo. And today we're actually going to take a look through all the latest updates that came to the Teams platform in May 2023. I always like when Microsoft publishes this just because it's a great way to recap all the latest updates in the Teams platform, whether it's Teams on your desktop, Teams on your phone, Teams displays, Teams rooms. It's frankly really hard to keep up with all the updates at the rate that Microsoft is pushing them out, which is, in my mind, a good problem to have. But ultimately, and rather thankfully, there's one place that kind of summarizes it all. And I'm not going to go through every update here, but I certainly encourage you to check it out in more depth. I do want to call out a few key features, though, that were released in May. So let's get started and kind of dive into this article here that I got pulled up on the screen. So one of the really great things I think is finally generally available is avatars for Microsoft Teams. So as the graphic that you're probably seeing on the screen right now shows, instead of having your video on and rather your video off completely, there's a new method as far as participating in your Teams meetings on your PC, and that's avatars for Microsoft Teams. That allows you to take an avatar of yourself. It's going to have very similar characteristics to someone who would be on camera and speaking, but maybe allows you to participate in a more effective way without having to have that video on. Maybe it's that really early morning meeting that you're just not quite visually prepped for, or it's super late at night, or just maybe you're in an environment where your background's not really the best, and an avatar might be a better situation. So this really gives users flexibility as far as additional ways to participate in their Teams meeting. And then moving on, there's another great feature that actually comes into the file section of Teams. And as you can see in the visual here, it's going to be really easy to determine and really sort through Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF files that may be stored in a Teams channel, in OneDrive, but ultimately accessed through the Teams app itself. I find this really helpful just because I know, like, for example, my team, we have a shared Teams channel and files within that. This is really going to help me quickly identify files that I need to find, as well as some recent activity on those files, such as maybe I was mentioned and requested to make a specific update. That's going to show that very clearly to me without having to open the file up itself. There's actually a new activity column that's going to show the latest updates, whether it be someone had just edited it or made a comment or mentioned myself or someone else in my team.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's really going to help us stay organized going forward. And then moving on actually to Teams rooms. I think we've all been talking about this for a long time and frankly been waiting for it. And personally, I wasn't sure if it was still coming, but Microsoft has finally announced that BlueJeans is now enabled for the one-touch direct guest join in Microsoft Teams rooms. Just like you can one-touch join a Teams rooms meeting on Teams and Zoom, BlueJeans is now part of that mix finally. So for users that have the occasional BlueJeans meeting, or maybe get an external invite to a BlueJeans meeting, your Teams room system will now be able to one-touch direct guest join these meetings as well.
That's fantastic. Kyle, I think I remember hearing about that last summer, so it's really good to see that become a reality at this point.
Yeah, it's been kind of out in the world for a while, and like I said, I wasn't exactly sure when it was coming, but it is finally here. So definitely make sure you set that up if those are meetings that you're coming across in your environment, and you want to make sure that your Teams room system can easily join those and participate. Now, the last update I did want to call out for today would be the updates to Teams displays. So virtual front desk and QR code sign-in for hot desking are now enabled on Teams display. I think these are really great features for the Teams display category, which will also be supported in Lenovo's ThinkSmart View Plus, which will begin shipping in the next month or so here. So virtual front desk is going to allow for, say, someone who's coming into an office. There's not a physical, human at that desk that's there to sign people in. With virtual front desk, I could walk it to the signing counter, tap a button there, it's going to call someone, and then virtually someone would appear on the other end, would allow me to sign in, give me access to the building, etc., however you want to set it up. That's the beauty of virtual front desk. Now, what I'm arguably a little more excited for would be the QR code sign-in for hot desking. So hot desking, generally speaking, is a way for IT admins to create shareable spaces as well as ways for their users to reserve, say, a shared desk or shared space before the user comes into the office. So say it's a Sunday night, I'm going to go and look for maybe a desk that has a view or just a desk in a quiet area that I know that I'm going to get the most work done. I can go ahead, I can reserve it. And when I show up to the desk, QR code is going to be present on screen. And all I have to do is take my mobile device, which is presumably already signed into the Teams app. I can scan the QR code, and then in a matter of seconds, all of my Teams information, like my chat, my calendar, my meetings for the day, are all going to come up on the display, and I'm going to have full access to my Teams account just by a matter of scanning that QR code. Now, something to note on this is that it is initially only available for Android devices with the Teams app, but support for iOS will come in the future. I just don't have a firm date on that. But Mark, those are kind of my key call-outs for this update for May 2023. But there's certainly plenty more to dive into, so certainly encourage everyone that's watching to go and take a look for themselves. It is on the Teams blog. It's one of the more recent posts that was published.
Thanks, Kyle. Those are some great updates. You can see right beneath me here the address where you can find that Microsoft blog, so you can check out all the posts yourself. In addition to that, I think you wanted to talk about Inspire a little bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, Mark. Thanks for reminding me about that. Big event from Microsoft coming up really shortly here, so I want to make sure everyone is aware and has the opportunity to register. So it's that time of year again, and Microsoft Inspire is upon us. So just over a month away, July 18th through 19th, is Microsoft Inspire. There's many ways to participate. I'm sure most of us are going to be participating virtually. But ultimately, Microsoft Inspire every year is our opportunity to hear from Microsoft's executive leadership team, Satya, most importantly, just on his vision for the future of things like modern work. And ultimately, the agenda that you see here is going to be filled out over the next few weeks. So it is a 2-day event. It's going to be jam-packed with different sessions. And no matter your interests, whether it's maybe business applications, modern work, or anything else from Microsoft, there's going to be a topic and a session for you. So make sure you get registered. There's a whole website built around this, and we'll be sure to include the link in this video so that's really easily accessible, and go ahead and get registered.
Awesome, Kyle. Thanks for the great updates. I particularly hope that everybody has a chance to check out Inspire this year. Lots of great things happening at Inspire. By the way, InfoComm's coming up in a couple weeks, and we'll be there. Our View Plus will be there, and we'll be featuring both those modes, the virtual receptionist and the QR code sign-in. We're at booth 3661, so come on by. I hope to see you there. I'll be there. You get to meet me face-to-face. And also, Kyle, thanks for noticing that I'm wearing different glasses today. Until next time, I'd like to thank you for joining us today, Kyle, by the way, and I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. And until next time, I hope to see you then.
Thanks, Mark.
Awesome.